government officials insist that this is an isolated incident. The attack is pretty.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Marley and I are at it again. We backpacked out into this area that we were at a couple weeks ago. This is a different spot. It's an area that we kind of explored the last time we were here, and I thought it would make a nice spot to camp. We're going to be out here for a couple days. I've got a few different projects to film for, and so I figured, you know, as usual, I'll bring you guys along. We'll have some fun. I got some new gear to try out, which I'm anxious to show you guys. I got some pretty neat stuff. We traveled a little heavier than our last trip, but we really only covered about half the distance. I didn't hike as far as we did last time. I think our round trip is going to be around 5 miles. So it's a little bit less than we did last time. I'm a bit tired, but I'm here. We got a little bit of wind. It is going to be cold. And so now I'm just going to kind of pull some stuff out of my pack. I'll set up the camp and I'll bring you guys back, give you a little tour, and check out the gear that I brought. As you guys can see, I got a pretty neat setup here with the backpacking Tipi tent, and I got a new backpacking stove about a week ago. This is a very lightweight setup, very easy to pack in my bag, you know, weighs nothing, very small. This is manufactured by Mountain Cattle. It's a very inexpensive hot tent. I think it's actually one of the cheapest on Amazon. And then I was sent this new wood stove. This is manufactured by a company called Change More, and this is their first of 2 models that they have. They're not new to manufacturing stoves. They actually make pizza ovens, and so they reached out to me and wanted to know if I would test this new hot tent stove out for them. And I was like, yeah, awesome. It was definitely something I need. You guys know I come out here a lot, and something like that can fit in a backpack is really kind of a game changer for me, because I don't have to dig a fire pit really close. You know, I'm able to have this unit in here, and that thing is light. It weighs 4.9 pounds, and everything folds flat. Came with a bag, fits in my backpack, no problem. And you guys can see the stovepipe rolls out. I mean, everything fits in there. Came with gloves that you can use so you don't get your hands scratched or dirty. So I'm really impressed with it. This is my first time using it out in the field. I have assembled it at home, and I gave it a first burn just to kind of burn any oils or anything like that off of the stove, which is something that I always recommend to do before you actually put it in a tent. And so we're going to test it out tonight. I'm real excited. Definitely a neat unit. You guys are going to be seeing a full review of this stove, but I believe I'm like the first guy to actually use one of these, and so I'm pretty excited to be able to give them some feedback. But so far I'm definitely really impressed with it. And this whole setup, you know, with the stove is probably right around 400 bucks, maybe less than that. And so if you're looking for something for, you know, real cold weather, you know, this would definitely be a good setup. But we're going to try it out tonight, and we'll fire this up later. This is a really neat place to camp, and one of the reasons that I wanted to camp here was because we've got some mountains on 2 of the sides where the wind comes from, and so hopefully that's going to shelter us later into the evening. And the other thing is it's really close to a lot of source for firewood. There's a lot of fell trees out here, a lot of stuff that I can use for a fire. And so I'm going to dig a fire pit out here. We're going to go around, collect some wood, and try to get as much as we can before this evening. And I've got to get some wood for our outside fire, and then I got to get some smaller pieces that are going to work for the inside of that stove. And I've got to stack everything in there, get our sleep systems out, because it is going to be extremely cold, much colder than it was a couple of weeks ago. Because we are pretty much in the dead of winter right now, and I didn't see any call for storms or anything like that, but we are in the mountains, and so you really kind of never know what you're going to get. But I'm going to kind of do this stuff around the camp, and then I'll bring you guys back. So I went ahead and dug the fire pit. I didn't have to go too crazy with it. I got a little bit of firewood so we can have a fire later. And I got plenty of wood for inside that we can use later in that stove. And I got some pretty good size pieces, and so I think we're good there. It's about 3:30 right now, and the sun is starting to go over this hill, and so it actually feels a little later. But I can definitely feel it's getting colder. Almost time to put my jacket on. But I just got a few more things to do, and then we're going to head away from camp and we'll do a little exploring. Marley and I are going to hike away from camp a little ways. Probably just back up in here a couple 100 yards. A few areas look pretty promising for jackrabbits. For this trip, I brought the American Air Arms Evil. This is in .30 caliber. This is my custom wood model. This was actually a prototype gun that was given to me by Tom Costin. It's worth a lot to me. I've used it on a lot of trips. It's very accurate. This puts out about 90 foot-pounds using the 47 grain NSA slugs. So it's got a good amount of power. There are some differences between this and what you can actually buy, but not many. It's a neat gun. I got the Tacticam on here, and hopefully we can pick up some action. So right here we've got a lion track, and this looks like it's fairly fresh, maybe last night or yesterday. Pretty good sized lion, so they are around here. So Marley and I hiked up about probably 200 yards from camp up on this ridgeline here, and we've got a beautiful view. You can oversee all this land out here, and where we parked was actually way that way, probably about 2.5 miles, and so it's not that far, but we're just hanging out up here. It's a beautiful spot, just a gorgeous evening. It is getting a bit cold, but we're really not very far from camp, and I was just hoping that maybe I could spot some activity from up here. And I'm actually looking for some old buildings that were used for some miners back in, I think, around 1870, and I haven't been able to spot them on Google Earth, and so I'm anticipating they're probably either burned down or maybe just under trees and you can't see. So I'm hoping by getting up like this, I'm maybe able to spot some kind of landmark, like something that's out of place. I don't know, I'm into that kind of thing. That's one of the reasons I like to come out and explore here. Well, that was quite the hike. We ended up seeing a jackrabbit, geez, right behind camp here, probably 75, 80 yards. And so they are here. I think maybe in the morning we can head out there and maybe we'll have some luck. I just pulled the rest of the stuff out of my backpack. I'm going to kind of set up a little makeshift kitchen area here with the tarp, and we're going to get a fire started. Bet you guys didn't know you could use a shovel as a table. Pretty cool. I couldn't bring a chair, but I brought the shovel, and as you guys can see, it is extremely useful. Use it to dig a fire pit, use it as a table, use it for cooking. Very versatile. So, moment of truth here. Let's see how these are. Crispy. Mmm. Tastes kind of like a hot dog on a stick with it wrapped like this. Really good though. Really tasty with the cheese and the bacon. Oh. Well, that was a fantastic dinner. Really enjoyed that. Marley and I are both pretty full. I'm going to let this fire die down, hang out here for a little bit, and then we're going to move into the tent. We'll fire up that stove and we'll make some coffee. So I got this stove fired up. So far I'm really impressed with it. I really like the weight of it. It's definitely compact, fairly easy to put together. You know, I tried it first at my house, and I did its first burn, just to burn anything off of it, what you want to do before you actually use it in a tent. Yeah, this thing packs really easy. My wife and I both were really surprised. This thing weighs almost nothing. It's like 4.9 pounds, and to me it doesn't even feel that heavy. This is the stainless steel model. They do make a titanium version, which I believe is right around $100 more. And this one I think retails between $269 and $300. I'm not sure. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested. I am going to do a full review of this. I just really kind of wanted to get it out and use it before I did that. But so far, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's definitely heating up the tent. It's definitely a good size for a small tent like this, although I'm sure it would work in my larger hot tent. But we're going to run it tonight, see how efficient it is. I definitely have enough wood in here, and so I think we should be good. So you can see Marley is in her sleeping bag right now. I'm not sure if this is made for dogs or if it's just made for kids. But it zips up. It's got a little hoodie here you can close up, and she likes it. It keeps her pretty warm. You know, it's pretty thick, and it came with a nice little stuff sack, and it really takes up no space in my my backpack. Well, cheers you guys. Definitely nice being in here. This stove is working out really well. I'm definitely impressed with it. You guys can expect to see some more, gear. I've actually partnered up with a tent company out of Australia, and they have a US based distribution center, and so they're going to be hooking me up with a really awesome tent. I really can't wait to show you guys that. It's going to open up a door for being able to stay out longer. I'll probably even be able to bring my family, if that gives you kind of a hint. But it's definitely high-end, definitely something that I've wanted and kind of needed for a long time, and so I found a company that's willing to kind of work with me, and in trade I'm gonna show off their tent, use it, and really try and bring their name to the United States, because it's from what I can see a very quality product. Marley and I are going to hang out for a little bit. It's about 9:30. We're going to get up in the morning. I've got my alarm set for about 6 o'clock. We'll get a fire going. I'll make some coffee, and then we'll do a little bit of exploring, and then I got to come back here and pack everything up really quick and get out of here, because I've got another location I gotta head to film 2 more videos, and so this trip will be kind of a short one, but still, it was nice. I figured I needed to test the stove, and I figured why not make a video with it. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Hey, cheers you guys, good morning. It was pretty windy last night. I'm pretty sure it got up over 50 miles an hour. Right now it's probably 25-30 miles an hour. Not too bad, but it is cold out. It's about 6:45, and I just got up. I went outside. We used the bathroom and came back in here and fired this thing up, and the stove worked really well last night. We've still got plenty of wood left. Very efficient. Before I went to bed, which was probably about 10:30, 11, I threw a couple of these larger pieces on. I think I put 3 of them in there, and that lasted until right around 3:30 in the morning. Like I said, it was super windy last night. Tent was really loud. Kind of kept us awake. I'd wake up, heavy gust would hit the tent, and then I'd fall back asleep, and it was kind of that way all night. But we slept pretty good. We were warm. Definitely worked out good for us. I'm gonna have my coffee, and then we're going to step outside, and by then the sun will be up, and hopefully it'll be a little warmer. So this is an active form right here. The rabbits actually use this. You'll see them sitting. This is only about maybe 30-40 yards from our camp. This is from a jackrabbit, most likely, considering the size. And you see them usually in open areas like this, where you got kind of like sand. Yeah, they make these, and that's usually a really good sign that there is rabbit activity. But this being winter, it is very difficult to hunt them. I think it was pretty cold the past couple days, and so when they're here, they may be here at night, early in the morning, late evening. And a lot of times you can catch them here. They may not have been here because our camp is only right around 25-30 yards from here, and so we may have kind of spooked them off. But they're definitely here. Marley and I took a break, and then we decided to head back to camp. It was getting quite windy, and it was getting just about that time to start packing everything up. Well guys, Marley and I are ready to get out of here. We packed up camp. I got my bag, I got my gun, and we're gonna be on our way. I really hope you guys enjoyed coming along this trip. We had a lot of fun getting out here, getting to test out some new gear. And you guys can look forward to some more trips like this. I have a few different spots that we should be hitting up in the next couple weeks. But if you guys have any questions on any of the gear that we used, feel free to email me through my website at mountainsportairguns.com, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.